Kidney stones. Just in case anyone is wondering what causes kidney stones, I'll tell you. Have you ever seen the buildup of the hard, flaky stuff on your water spigot, shower walls, or shower head that causes your water to spray all cattywampus? Better yet, the buildup of minerals in your toilet bowl that comes from the water you use? The same buildup that you must soak in strong chemicals to remove? That's, in my opinion, the best way to describe kidney stones. They are the buildup from things you drink that over time attach themselves to your kidney walls. They may detach one day, and if they do, the next time you urinate, they're going to follow the flow, but if they're too big, they could possibly get stuck. That's kidney stones. So what causes that kind of buildup? Harsh minerals in the water, which can be there even if the water is clear. It's not supposed to be in purified water, so that and fresh cold mountain spring water is the only water I'll drink. Fake teas, sodas, acidic drinks, bad sugars, fake caramel coloring, and too much baking soda can all cause kidney stones. There's just too much to list. Today, kidney stones can be caused by many things since most people are consuming food-like products instead of real food. So why are some people affected while others are not? Well, first of all, everyone is different. We may all look the same and be part of the same family, but each person's genetic makeup is different, which means everyone will respond differently to different things. And secondly, one's behavior pattern is also different. For example, if one person drinks dark sodas every night before bed, over time they can develop kidney stones. If another person drinks the same dark sodas every night before they go to bed, but then also follows that with a glass of fresh, clean water, they too can develop kidney stones, but they're a lot less likely to do so. So even though both people were drinking the same thing at the same time, the residue from the soda is left in one person's kidneys while the other person rinsed it out with the water. You must keep your kidneys flushed, clean, and properly hydrated. If your kidneys, just for visionary example's sake, are dehydrated and shriveled, and all you drink is soda, then your kidneys will be at more risk of developing kidney stones than someone who drank water instead. See where I'm getting at with this? Okay, back to my story. Now, I've never had kidney stones, but my kitty Leonard did. Here's Len in his t-shirt with our Stewie boy. It came on as such a surprise. Len was fine one day, and the next day it was like he was on death's door. He couldn't pee, so he kept puking it up instead. The trapped urine was poisoning him fast. He was just laying there curled up. He wouldn't eat or drink, and if he would flinch if we touched him on his bottom half. He looked almost lethargic, and his eyes were beginning to glaze. We had him on a shower curtain and on a towel in the living room floor because a few drops of pee would come out every once in a while if he exerted himself. We told our daughter to say her goodbyes that we didn't think Leonard would make the night. It all happened so fast, and without money or credit to pay the vet, we were left to do this completely on our own. We were so sad that day. In my tears, I took to the internet and found out that a common weed combats kidney stones. The same weed that I had been studying, but I was unaware of this quality. The same weed that I brought with us on purpose from our last house. One of the same weeds they encourage everyone to kill. That's odd. Chamber bitter is the answer. Chamber bitter grows native as a weed in some areas and can be grown as a houseplant everywhere else. It can be found exactly where you don't want it. In flower beds, outside of flower beds, sidewalk cracks, loomy or otherwise crappy soil. It's self-sowing and easy to maintain. Be sure to look up chamber bitter online to see many more pics. Note, there is another weed called mascarene island leaf flower that looks just like chamber bitter. They're both from the same family, but it is a different plant, which means it will not work on kidney stones. They're very similar. As a matter of fact, the only way I can tell them apart is chamber bitter will have bigger, fuller balls that hang under its leaf spine, while the mascarene island leaf flower will have smaller, lighter looking balls that hang from stems on top of the leaf petals. If you search the two plants' names, you'll find tons of pics online to help you distinguish the difference of what they look like. These plants looked almost identical, so just look for the ball placement. Research showed that if one eats the leaves of this once common yardweed, it will begin to break up kidney stones in about an hour, making them more passable. I mean, what choice did the vet give me? Prepare for Leonard's death, or at least try something to save his life? So in the yard I went. Thank God it was chamber bitter season, because it's not a year-round plant. I took about 5 leaves and cut them super tiny, like the size of a chopped cooking spice, and put them in some albacore and mixed them well. The objective was to allow him to easily eat the leaves, yet not inhale them and suffocate. I was so thankful that the smell of the fish was enough to get his saliva juices running so he would eat. I think he licked it a few times at first and only ate a bite or two. 15 minutes later, he ate a few more bites. I think he finished the full teaspoon in about 30 minutes. When he was done, he just laid there as pathetic as before. I stayed with him and tried to comfort him when a few more drops trickled out. And then after a few minutes, something whitish popped out. Over the next few minutes, Len passed 3 whitish, hard rock-looking things, and with a big whoosh, his bladder emptied. Thank God for the shower curtain. We were so relieved. Talk about a miracle. Our Lenny boy was gonna live. What I read online must have been correct, because the whole thing did take about an hour. We immediately gave him some milk, and he drank the whole thing. He still leaked urine for about a week afterwards. I read that's common while he's healing, since his insides were still inflamed and scratched, making it impossible for his pee muscle to tighten all the way. You never would have known that he was sick by the second day if it weren't for him leaking all over. It was truly amazing. The experts say that if your pet develops kidney stones once, that they are more likely to get it over and over again for the rest of their life. And considering each time seems life-threatening and extremely painful, scary, and stressful for both us and poor Len, quite frankly, I just wasn't happy with that answer. My in-laws had a cat too that developed kidney stones, and after a $2,600 vet bill, they prescribed a special bag of food for just him that cost $65 every month for the rest of his life. Of course, the big box stores didn't carry that kind of food, so they were forced to buy it straight from the vet's office. Now at the time, we had about a dozen chickens, our dog Belle, and 4 kitties, so I couldn't figure out just how one cat was affected and everyone else was fine. I mean, they all drink the same water and eat the same food just about. My Belle sneaks so much cat food that she refuses to eat dog food, so we switched her. Yes, my dog eats cat food by choice. The chickens ate their own food, yet drank the same water, but they were all healthy, so what was different? Well, for one, the birds eat tiny rocks, and they can eat food even after it's been sitting in their own duty without getting sick. So I thought maybe they're just different in the sense of what affects them and what doesn't. So I put them on the back burner in my head for a while, and I kept thinking. Belle hasn't been cameling up the water like she used to. I was even starting to worry that she may not be drinking enough. She would always drink the rainwater that was in her outside bowl, even if it was dirty. And then I thought about Howard, our inside-outside TNR kitty. He never drank from the inside water bowl. He'd rather drink the hot water in the garage or from the dirty puddle in the street. Stuart also didn't drink from the water bowl. He was too busy begging for milk all the time. I split my milk 50-50 with purified water. And lastly, Penny was just fat Penny. I mean, nothing seems to affect her. She's just a big, loving, sweet roly-poly. We do not have a filter system on our pipes, so all of us, including our 4-legged family members, only use and drink purified water. And then our car broke down for almost a year. It was difficult to get enough rides for everything we needed, so at the time the animals' water got switched from the good water we drink to the hose water, and that contained large amounts of iron and rust. It was a huge dumb moment. In a life where you must roll with the punches or go crazy, it's hard to notice such different subtle preferences of others as a pattern, especially over a long period of time. It all made sense now. Lynn was the only one who was actually drinking the horrible hose water, while everyone else was drinking water from other sources. I didn't really count the birds' opinions since they eat rocks on purpose. And instantly I was up scrubbing the water bowls and refilling them with purified water. It's been 2.5 years and none of my guys have had any problems since. So I'll be the first one to tell you never give up. Even if things look grim and no hope can be found, never give up. Living simple doesn't have to be complicated. It gets better, my friend, if you just believe. Marcy Jax.